Welcome, FNusa57 here. Once again, I'm back on my Xbox Series X to bring you yet another video for Elden Ring. So, in today's video, this is going to be a full tutorial for how to duplicate runes or basically any other droppable item. If you are tired of seeing posts like this one in Looking for Group of people that are clearly selling runes and equipment, some of them legit, some of them not so legit, or if you have been ripped off by one of these posts, I recommend that you pay close attention to this tutorial. What I will be showing you is exactly how to duplicate items with a current working method slash glitch slash save manipulation, whatever you want to call it. It's less of a glitch, more of just manipulating the save sync time. Now you will notice that currently my level in game is 284. I farmed legit up to level 150 and then was given Lord's runes and tested out this duplication method. So that is why my level is 284. You can use this method to go to the max level, and you can duplicate any item that can be left on the ground and seen by another player. Very importantly, I will teach you how to do this duplication method without losing any saved progress. You will not lose your items, and I will also teach you why some of these posts, especially for weapons, are people that are ripping other people off completely. Regardless of whether or not you want to pay for rune service or whatever, that's up to you and personal preference at the end of the day. So, all you are going to need, you do need another player, obviously. Or you could do this with a second Xbox. If you have two Xbox accounts and Xboxes, you can do it that way. The first thing is you are going to need to find somebody or a second account on a second device to do this. Personal preference at the end of the day, how you want to do it. If you need assistance, feel free to message me if you are on the Xbox. Moving forward, I am going to have my friend Crap Flapper help me out with this, so huge shout out to him. Wonderful supporter of the channel. Thank you very much for going ahead and helping me out with the video, and shout out to ILAP the Flash for helping me test this. The method is the same, but I did need to double check on the timers. Now, what we are going to need to do is first you will want to find a save spot or a grace site that you and the second account or other player can actually summon each other at. The spot that I have found that works the best is the road to the manor. This spot you can still summon other players at, even once you have defeated the Knight Loretta and the boss that's up in that area. So this site of grace seems to work the best for me. Also, this site of grace is an area that a lot of people do not PvP at, so you don't usually have to worry about invasions. With that being said, first I will demo this from the arguably more complicated perspective, which is the person dropping the items. Then I will demo it from the perspective of the person who is picking up the items. You do need to do this precisely, otherwise you can lose, well, your entire work or the entire game save. So, with that being said, once you have the items that you want, whether it be armor or runes, you are going to want to go ahead and get a hard game save. That means you want to have your game synced properly. Now, there's three ways of doing it. The first way of doing it is just normal playthrough progression for approximately 15 to 20 minutes, and the game will autosave, update the autosave with the cloud save. The second method of doing it is by going in and trying to force that save to update. Doing that is like picking another site of grace somewhere on the map, fast traveling to it, quitting the game through the game's command menu. So going in and actually going down to system, going over to your profile, quit game, return to the main menu, let the game completely go back to the main menu, and then go ahead and shut the game down completely once you see the press any button icon, and then reload the game and log back in. go back to whatever site of grace you want to go to actually do the duplication. The third method, which is less reliable, is to go ahead and be summoned as a phantom and then defeat the boss in someone else's world, or defeat a boss in your world. Most people say that gives you a hard save and syncs the local and cloud save data. However, that method I cannot confirm works 100% of the time. If you want to go through without losing anything, then you want to make sure that you do it with primarily waiting the 15 to 20 minutes. That is the way to basically guarantee that you're not going to lose any progress. If you want, there's also timestamps in the description of the video so you can see both points of view. I'm going to go ahead and begin as the player dropping the items. Now keep in mind, you can only have 8 dropped items on the ground at any given point in time. So what I'm going to do is we're focusing on runes here. So I want to go down to my Lord's runes, which the maximum you can have is 99 in a stack, and you can only have 1 stack in your inventory and then another 600 in your stored. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and go down to leave selected, or that's pretty much like the easiest way to do it, and then just select the rune and hit OK. Or confirm, leaving all selected items. Or you can go through, hit leave, and select the amount. Now you'll notice that there is an item on the ground. Go back to the site of grace. And then what you will have to do is you will have to go to the sort chest, switch to chest, and go down to the Lord's runes, and then withdraw 99 of those. We'll basically do that 7 times, going into your inventory, going to leave, make sure you don't hit use or discard, because both of those will not have the desired effect. You also have to do this fairly quickly. You only have 15 minutes, otherwise you will have another save, and you don't want to have that. But 15 minutes is a fair amount of time. So you'll just go ahead and repeat this process with the Lord's runes. And you can have a maximum of 8 different items, 8 different stacks of items on the ground at the same time. But that just, you're only going to have 7 when it comes to the Lord's runes. Unfortunately, the item only stacks up to 99. So it does make this a little bit tedious. As you can see, though, it goes pretty quick. It is a good idea to have the other player's summon sign already on standby. So when you're dropping these items, it's a great idea to just make sure that you can see the other person's summon sign ahead of time. This way you don't waste any extra time. And as I mentioned earlier, you can dupe any item that you can drop on the ground with the leave option, and then the other player can see it. That is the key. If the other player cannot see it, they cannot pick it up, and if they cannot pick it up, you cannot duplicate it. So that's why a lot of people have been saying that this doesn't work, because they've been trying to pick up items or dupe items that they actually couldn't see. We are about to drop our 7th stack of Lord's runes. So there's now 7 stacks of Lord's runes. And once you have 7 stacks of Lord's runes dropped, the last item is up to you. You can do just the remaining 6 if you want, so that the other person coming in has a full inventory. It's completely up to you at the end of the day, or you could do a different rune. So we'll go ahead and leave the 6 selected, at which point now I am going to summon in my friend Crap Flapper, and he will be able to just pick these items up. Now, while he's picking up these items, I am going to drop anything else that you want to dupe. So this could be runes, talismans, armor, weapons, consumables, pretty much anything that you want. Of course, you only have the 15 minutes to do it. And you can pretty easily see that the player's picking up the items. I would recommend, if you want a lot of runes, just go ahead and do the whole leave max amount on any of the other runes that you have. So I'm just going to go ahead and give him these other runes as well, while they are worth a great deal less. They are still worth runes, and I mean, you know, personal preference if you want to have some extra runes or not, but just to show that it works. Of course, it's not really worth the time to do low-level gold runes as opposed to high-level, you know, runes, but hey, why not, right? Because each one of these you can have 99 in your inventory and then another 600 in your player stash. Again, be careful not to hit the wrong button on it. Some other key items you may wish to dupe are like Starlight Shards if you're a mage. Those are super awesome. You can also dupe all of the different poultices. So like for, you know, poison and blight, all this stuff, this can be duplicated. I'm just doing a few different items so that you can see that this does work when I come back. And also to help Crap Flapper out. Like, another item to do it with are the gold and silver pickled foul feet. Those are really good items to do it with. You can't do ashes, you can't do smithing stones, you can't do tears or key items or spells or incantations or ashes of war. You can do weapons, of course. Of course, though, when it comes to being able to see weapons, well, it has to be of the same plus rating or lower than what the other player has. So if you've only upgraded a plus weapon to, say, plus 10, a Somber Smithing Stone weapon to plus 10, you can see any of them. If you haven't upgraded a Somber Smithing Stone weapon to plus 10, say it's only plus 5, then you'd only be able to see plus 5s. You can also do charms, like the Great Jar's Arsenal. That's a real popular one. So that item can be dropped on the ground and you can see it. You can do pretty much any of the charms. There aren't like a ton of them that are super, super valuable, but you can literally drop any of them that you want. You could also drop the Sacrificial Twig, which isn't a bad item if you're going to be carrying a bunch of stuff on you. Now, once the other player has picked up everything, the dropping party just stays in their menu. Both players stay in the game. You go to the Elden Ring game, go down to Manage Game and Add-ons, go down to Saved Game Data, go down to your profile, press Select, delete Save Data. Take your time doing this step. Never hit Delete from Everywhere. Go slowly over to Delete from Console and select Delete from Console. That will show you have no saved data. Then pressing the B button will take you back to the Manage Elden Ring game, and pressing it once more will take you back to the Xbox dashboard, at which point you can go ahead and relaunch the game. When you go ahead and relaunch the game, you'll get one of 2 or 3 different screens that'll come up. More than likely, it will say syncing data. Depending on your console and your internet connection, that could take a couple seconds to a minute. You'll select your profile, and it will say in the top right-hand corner that it is retrieving latest calibrations, checking network, and all of that fun stuff. It'll give you the information, and then it will allow you to log in. If done correctly and you beat the autosave, you will be back at the point where you last hard saved your game, and anything that you did from the point where you last hard saved your game to the point that you desynced the save will no longer exist. So now if I go into my inventory, you will see that I have all of my consumables that I dropped, I have my charms and weapons, and I have all of my runes. So I still have everything that I dropped, and I have done this unedited, so you know I did not use like a save editor. I still have my charms and all of that fun stuff. Literally nothing has changed. Now at this point, I can repeat the exact same process to go ahead and max level someone by dropping the 7 stacks of Lord Runes again, inviting the other player in by summoning them once more, and the only thing different is they will use a stack of 99 Lord's Runes, then pick up the next stack and repeat that process till they've picked up everything, since currently they have a completely full inventory. If you bear with me for a second, I'm going to go ahead and show this from the opposite point of view, where Crap Flapper will be giving me the runes. And just remember that when you're switching back and forth like this, before you drop any item, I cannot stress this enough, before you drop any item, you must make sure that your game has been hard saved and that hard save has been synced to the cloud. Refer to the beginning of the video for instructions on how to do that. You can either wait the full 15 to 20 minutes or try to force it as far as the autosave is concerned. Alright, so now we are at the perspective of the person that is picking up the runes. If you are somebody like me and you're going to go ahead and be leveled up, then you will already have the max runes in your inventory. So what you will do is you'll go ahead and hit use, and you can either do that individually for the Lord's Runes, which will take you forever, or simply select them, use selected, click down on the D-pad once, and that will go ahead and use the full set, the full stack of them. Then pick up the next stack of 99, hit use selected, use the full set, pick up the next stack, and you're just going to continue to repeat this process. Make sure you don't accidentally hit discard, though. Now, while you are doing this as the person that's picking up the items, the person that is dropping the items can drop other items. Just remember that you can only have a maximum amount of items on the ground of a total of 8 stacks. They can be 8 stacks of the same item, or they can be like 1 stack of one item, 7 stacks of another item. It is completely up to you. I do recommend that pressing down on the D-pad to swap from using 1 to using 99 at a time. That is far easier than using them individually, and that is also far easier than holding up on the D-pad to select the number 99. Now, I don't know how you do this on PlayStation. The method should be similar, and I don't know exactly how you do it on the PC. Again, the method should be similar. At which point, you can keep the last stack, the 7th stack of Lord's Runes in your inventory if you want, or you can use them. It is completely up to you. A full set of Lord's Runes, 699 of them, yields approximately 35 million runes. You can then also pick up any other items that the other player is dropping, and while you're picking up those items, the other player can go ahead and drop more items if you want. So like I mentioned, the silver pickled foul foot, the gold pickled foul foot, weapons and armor, you can dupe any of those. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is the maximum level that you have upgraded to for that type of weapon or that type of armament is the maximum level that you can see. So an item that upgrades using smithing stones is different level from an item that upgrades using somber smithing stones. And you cannot duplicate the smithing stones, unfortunately. But by duplicating these runes, once you get the bell bearings and you can buy smithing stones, you could buy a unlimited number of smithing stones and somber smithing stones to upgrade any weapon that you want. So just be careful out there if you do see anyone that is selling runes or selling upgraded items. Whether you wish to purchase from them or give them a tip or whatnot is entirely up to you. But just be careful that you have the item upgraded or a similar item upgraded to a plus tier that you can see, so that this way when they drop the item on the ground for you, you can actually pick it up. Now, once you've picked up everything, so I've picked up all of these items, you can go through the save desync process whenever you're ready, Crap Flapper. The other person will go through their save desync process, and you're just going to sit here. Do not do anything that would trigger a autosave. You just have to go through... Yeah, there we go. There's the connection error. Now this is going to return me to my world. And you will see that in my world, I still have all of the items that I picked up while I was a phantom. I have my runes. I can go ahead and rest at the site of grace, and I have the runes that I used so we could level up. Of course, at level 284, one full stack of Lord's runes moves us up to level 323. So that still is a nice increase, but it starts to cost like over a million runes per level. And you can spread your points out however you want. I still have all the items. I have the weapons, I have the shards, I have all the med items, for curing poison and that stuff. You can see how many that you have, in your storage. Those items you can't hold that many of, but I mean, hey, if you're duping stuff, 15 minutes is a pretty generous time frame, so you can use that time to dupe a lot of different things or different runes, just really at the end of the day, whatever you want. And then the next trick, well, at this point, if you're going to stop as the player that picked up the items, you have to actually get a hard save. So, like, if I'm going to stop right now, right here, I have to get a hard save. So, go back to the beginning of the video if you want, but the two methods that work the best are waiting a full 15 to 20 minutes or actually killing a boss. However, to be on the safe side, what I like to do personally is what I showed at the beginning of the video, which is wait the 15 to 20 minutes, fast travel to a different site of grace, and then back to the one that you actually want to dupe at. Go ahead and use the in-game system to quit the game, load back into the game, make sure you're at the site of grace that you want to be at, and then quit the game, actually quit the game fully from the Xbox menu, load the game back up, and you should have not only a hard save, but the hard save will be synced with the cloud so that you don't lose any items. I really truly hope this video helped you out and it was adequately explained. If of course you do have any questions or need help, feel free to post a comment in the comment section. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you slap that like button as well as subscribe for more content in the future. If you do need help in-game, feel free to shoot me a message on the Xbox, and tips are greatly used to, well, keep everything going with this channel. So, Thank you very much for your time watching. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, thy legion, stay frosty.